Welcome back to the vlog. Kato here. Today we're playing cards. We're at the 2-5 game late night session, $800 buy-in. It's about 2 a.m. and I can tell this table is not going to last long. I get king 9 offsuit in the small blind, folds to the button who makes it 15, and although I could probably defend my blinds, it's just not worth it to me. I'm going to wait for a better hand and a better position, which doesn't come quickly. I fold away a bunch of junk until finally I look down at 6-8 of spades. Still not such a great hand, but with 3 limpers ahead of me, I throw in $5 just to see the flop. Like an OMC, I want to see the flop for cheap, but that's not a good strategy in the long term. The flop comes a good one, though. 2 spades, gut shot, straight draw. Action checks all the way through to me, and I'm going to throw in a bet, try to take it down or spice up the pot for when I hit. I make it 25. The button folds. The big blind tosses his hand away. The under the gun's ready to muck. It goes all the way back to the hijack, who throws in a green, makes the call. And we're headed to the turn. It's one of my outs, but it's my worst out, bottom pair. Although my hand has a lot of potential and some very small showdown value, I want to continue betting. Get that fold equity jacked up. I make it 75. 3 greens into the pot. See what my opponent wants to do. He goes for chips, looks at me in the side of his eye, and then thinks better of it, and slides his hand into the muck. Scooping the first pot of the night, $52 in profit. Even the smallest pots still net you a pretty good gain. And then the very next hand, I look down at suited connectors, 5-6 of hearts in the hijack, 852 on my stack. Action folds to me this time, and I open up for 4 reds, 20 to go. Only one player wants to call. He's already got $5 invested. The big blind makes the call, and we're going to the flop. Jack 7-8, open-ended straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Still, I've got a long way to go until my hand is made, but when my opponent checks to me, he is just the big blind. Probably not that invested if he didn't hit something, so I throw in 35 to start juicing the pot, getting that fold equity. The big blind tosses his hand away, scooping a small pot, but these small pots really add up, almost up $100 already. And the dealer starts tossing cards around the table. I'm looking for a good one, and a good one I get, ace-queen offsuit in middle position. The gun player throws in 5, and of course I'm going to go for a bet. I make it 20. The middle position calls. The button calls. The big blind throws out 15. The under the gun completes 102 in the pot pre-flop, and we're going to a flop. But it's not a flop for me. I could be drawing close to dead if there's a 6 out there. So I decided to check the action around, and the button says, hold up, we're putting some money in this pot. Slides 50 into the center. The under player check calls, which is an interesting thing to me. Maybe he has a 6 lying in the grass, and I just can't continue with this hand. I fold it away. But let's watch the run out, because there's a queen of clubs on the turn. Both players get all in. One player flips up a 6. The other player flips up the second nut flush. Good thing there was a big bet on the flop, allowing me to get away, save me some money. Don't forget to drop a like on the channel. The little bit of effort goes a long way in support. Thank you so much. Let's get to the next hand. It's another suited connector, 9-10 of spades under the gun. I opened it to 15. The middle position to my left makes it 40. I have this issue where if someone 3-bets me, typically on the smaller side, I feel pot committed, but I'm calling out of position. I think this call is still okay, but in general, it's a problem where I get dragged into these 3-bet pots. The flop comes out all clubs. I do hit top pair, but my opponent 3-bets, so I'm checking into action to him, but he checks right back. The dealer drops a deuce on the turn, and this time I'm going to start betting, charging him for club draws, although he probably would have continuation bet if he had one, so maybe I'll take the pot down right now. No, I won't. The middle position puts in 50 as well. We go to the river. It's another deuce. I decided to check call my opponent, and he bets 60 with 247 in the pot. This call's a no-brainer. I have top pair. But then he shows pocket kings, played him slow, got a lot of value out of him. Good for him, but bad for me. This all could have been avoided if I just took the cue of his 3-bet and folded pre-flop. 704 in my stack. Now I'm down 100. It's about 3:30 a.m. This is the only 2-5 game running. When it breaks, it's game over. And so I'm trying to get my money, and I'm trying to get it quick. But I still have to be responsible. The dealer pitches me some cards, and I look down at king 10 offsuit under the gun. I go for a bet, but then I stick to my better judgment and just toss it away. And then I pick up king 7 of hearts. I'm in the big blind this time. 699 in my stack. The hijack opens to 20. The button makes a call. For 15 more, I'm going to defend with a suited king. We're going 3 ways to the flop. And once again, I pick up top pair. This time I've got a much better kicker. I decide to check. It checks around to the button, who puts in a pot size bet of 50, which is quite a bit. But I need to make money somehow. I can't fold my top pair just yet. I make the call. Folds around. We go to the turn. It's a jack. Once again, I check to my opponent, and this time he puts in a bet of 60. And if I called 50 on the flop, I'm definitely calling 60 on the turn. If he hit his jack, so be it. The river comes a 4. And when I check to my opponent this time, he just gives up the hand, says he misses flush. I flip over my hand, and I'm going to be scooping a $150 pot.
You're a vlogger or something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
PokerBEASTs.
You're not PokerBEASTs.
He's not right, but he's not wrong. Right now, I'm Poker Cub. The end goal for me and all of us should be to become a Poker Beast in whatever way we want to. It's possible. I pick up ace-queen offsuit in the small blind. Action folds around to the cutoff, who puts in 20. The button ships his whole stack in. It's only 75 to go. And with the strength of my hand and the small investment, I'm going to make the call. The big blind gets out of the way. The cutoff takes another peek at his cards. Decides he's going to make the call as well. Three-way action going to the flop, 230 in the pot. And the flop comes out of dud. We check the action to the turn, and it's another dud. We check to the river, it's another dud. We all flip up our hands. The cutoff flips over ace-3 offsuit, so I flip up my hand, and then the button flips up ace-queen offsuit as well. Chop in the pot, making a few dollars on the hand, $8.96 on my stack. Lose it down a little bit as the table's losing players, and before long, the table breaks. I'm sitting with $8.10 in my stack. I could move down to the 1-3 game, but I notice after you play higher stakes, it's really hard to adjust to lower stakes. And so I just decided to take my $10, head to In-N-Out, and turn my profit into a delicious double-double with some animal fries. Not every session is going to be glorious, but that's poker, and I'm trying to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you so much for watching. Kato out.